Alright, what is up YouTube? So today I'm going to be talking about Lunalights in this video. As we all know, Tenki went to 1 on our previous limited / forbidden list, but with the new card released in Burst of Destiny Small World, this card allows you to search not only your Lunalight monsters, but it also can search out hand traps if you need to when you don't OTK your opponent. Now, this card works in this deck specifically because Wolf is a level 6 light beast warrior that doesn't really share any of the attack or defense stats, at least with most of the Lunalight cards. What that means is you can pretty much search any of the level 4 Lunalight monsters from your deck to your hand with something like Wolf being in your deck with Small World. So basically how it works Small World is that the one you banish in your hand it's kind of important for the second card, but the second card in your deck is really important, and which you're always going to be banishing to search out something like Kaleido Chick or your Emerald Bird or Martin if you really need it, is your Wolf. Wolf is a light level 6 beast warrior, so it doesn't share any other stats with any of the other Lunalight monsters besides being a beast warrior. So this is like 1400 attack, 800 defense, so that doesn't really share anything with it. This is 1200 attack and 1000 defense, which kind of conflicts with this, but it doesn't really matter. You're not really going to be searching that. Most of the time you're going to be searching Kaleido Chick. 800 attack, 2000 defense really shares nothing with it besides being a beast warrior. And then the card that I put in here to kind of mitigate that whole thing with the attack and defense is the Photon Thrasher. Photon Thrasher not only is a level 4, but it's a light warrior, 2100 attack, 0 defense. It's also super important for something like Droll. Droll has 0 defense. Gamma has 0 defense, so it comes up very often. And if you realize Wolf has 1000 defense, which I think is important, not really sure, but there's something super important about this. But the most part is that Wolf is a light level 6 and it doesn't share any attack or defense. All it shares with the other Lunalight monsters is that it's a beast warrior, and the Thrasher, all it shares is that it's a level 4, so you can pretty much search anything in your deck. And with the hand traps, Ash Blossom is 0 attack, which, you know, is pretty standard. So 1800 defense, pretty standard. Like everything is like really lined up. All these hand traps pretty much can search to any of your Lunalights with Small World, which makes this deck very good. And because we're playing a lot of hand traps, that is really good for a meta call, because a lot of people are expecting these low impact hand traps, if not, you know, these blowout cards like Lightning Storm, Forbidden Droplets, Dark Ruler No More. And I'm just gonna mitigate that by playing all of these high impact hand traps that not really many people are expecting. Something like Droll really is good against something like Lyrilust. Tri Brigade, that adds like 1 billion cards with the Lyrilust cards, so it does really shut down that deck. Gamma is a super powerful hand trap against any deck in the format. Being able to remove that body is just really good. Compared to something like Imperm and Valor, they still have the body on board, so if they can get out another token with the Sword Soul deck, they can, you know, go into another or into a synchro summon with the Moyi or the Taya or whatever. And Nibiru is just like an overall card that a lot of people are just not playing around, especially games 1. So if you just catch your opponent off not playing again around Nibiru, it can just like really throw them off. It can end their turn, and it's just really powerful as a just a nuke for their board. And then Droplets is like just like really good. It's solid against any deck in the format. If you know, Droll somebody, they're probably not going to put up like a strong board, so Droplets discard like 1 or 2 is going to negate everything on their field pretty much. Same thing with something like Gamma or Nibiru. It's going to be really powerful against that. So Droplets is just really good in general. You can also discard stuff like Perfume if you did Brick. If you have like multiple Perfumes, you don't have access to like Kaleido Chick, it's really good to get the Perfume in the graveyard, so you can search out for your Chick. Or you can discard the Serenade Dance if you get it, and then you can search for any of the Lunalights from your deck. So that's really amazing. And then for the extra deck, it's just pretty standard. Like you're playing the Nightmare Phoenix, the Nightmare Cerberus package. You don't really need links like that. You know, you're not link climbing. This is not really like a link climb deck. Ever since like Tiger went to 0, so that's like pretty standard. The Draco Berserker is just like a really good level 8 synchro that you can make when you summon Gamma onto your field turn 1. So that's just like something you need, or slash like it comes up. So you can have it in the extra deck. You can cut it if you really wanted to, but I think it comes up enough to kind of play it. Because there's not really anything you can make with the Cyframe Gear, Gamma, or Driver, and you do have the space, so why not play it? The Zeus package, you have the 101 in the Sky Thunder Zeus. You can also play Baguska over Silent Honor Arc as kind of a way to like beat a lot of these meta decks, because a lot of these meta decks do not, I mean, they do make link monsters, but a lot of their monsters are like synchros, like the Sword Souls or XYZs with the Lair Lust. So playing something like Baguska is really, really powerful against a lot of those decks, because they do their effects or they do go in defense, you know, like there's non-link monsters that they have, so negating that or stopping them from activating it is really, really good. And then the Vespin Auto, really standard in this deck, because you have something like Dugaris, you can just stack on top of them, so that's really, really powerful. Can get out a lot of damage, because this card does do piercing against, you know, a lot of decks. They do have like low defense, so piercing over that could be really, really crucial. Galagranite is really good for searching Nibiru, so if you do go first, you can just search Nibiru and then you pressure them, as well as having something like a Dweller that can be really good. So like if their deck uses a lot of graveyard effects, something like Drytron, it can be really, really powerful, especially with like a Nibiru. So you have Dweller and Nibiru, they're pretty much not OTKing, and then you can OTK on your following turn. So that's like really good. And then like the standard 4 Lunalights, like these are the most important ones, but these are the utility ones you might need to summon like in like more grindier games, or like just in like specific scenarios. These might be better to summon over something like Panther Dancer or Leo Dancer. Just they might come up. It's not really important. You're mainly going to be summoning these two. You're just going to summon Leo Dancer and OTK. But for, you know, for the small scenarios, you do want to play something like Saber Dancer and Camp Dancer. And then for the side deck, it's just like really kind of, you know, you need your outs to stuff like Schism and Imperial Order. So you're going to play these 7 cards to like take out. You can take out like a Gamma. And like if you're going against like in Shaddoll Invoke, you can take out Nib. So Gamma Nib you can take out. You can also take out 2 copies of this. Nib, and then you can take like 2 copies of Droplets to kind of like keep Gamma, because Gamma is a very, very powerful card against Shaddoll Invoke. So that's something to note. Trap Tricks and the Artifact package going first. You can play this because a lot of people don't expect you to go first after you go second and you blind OTK them. So if you do go into like a game 3 scenario, or like you go game 2, you can just side in the Sanctum package and they pretty much won't play around it. They're probably gonna Ash like your combo. You're probably gonna, you know, like Ash doesn't really do much against the deck as long as you have a really good hand, or like a decent hand, and you could just Sanctum them and then GG no re, because you're just gonna OTK them next turn. Or if you do brick, you could just like set Sanctum, activate Sanctum. If they don't have Ash, it pretty much gives you a turn to like OTK them next turn. That's like, just like generically really good. And then Lancia is just like another card you can summon off a Sanctum if they're playing something like PK, or any deck that just banishes. I guess Tenyis, but I wouldn't side this against Sword Soul. But definitely very solid against a few decks in the format. It's good against like the Tri Brigade deck, but more of the pure Tri Brigade, which is not really that popular. A lot of people are playing the Lyrlust, so they're just going to summon XYZ monsters, so it's not really that good. But to kind of mitigate the Tri Brigade engine and try to stop that Samorg from going off is really, really powerful. So you could consider playing this against the Lyrlust deck, but I'd rather play something like Gamma Droll over, you know, something like Lancia. Before I end up this video, I just want to give you kind of like, if you're not familiar with Small World and how it works, I'm just gonna leave a link to like this page. It's pretty much a Small World page. You can use this for any deck, but it pretty much shows you every single combination with the Small World card, and like anything you can banish to like search any card in your deck. So this is just like the spreadsheet if you want to look through this, or you can just like put the deck into Yugioh Pro or Yugioh Pro and like test out which combination of cards work. That's how I figured it out, and I use a spreadsheet as well. So I'll leave a link to the deck profile in the description below so you can understand more about Small World and the combinations in this deck, because it can be complicated, but once you figure out how to do the combinations in this deck, it'll be pretty simple. It'll be super simple if I didn't explain it good enough. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was just a quick video updating you guys on Lunalights and kind of how they've like kind of evolved since like Tiger got banned, because I know a lot of people are not on this deck. They don't really believe in this deck. They don't think it can do anything, but I still think this deck is pretty solid. It's not like top tier. It's not gonna like win like a YCS or something like it did like 2 years ago, but it is still like a really solid like rogue deck, because a lot of people just don't know what Chick does, even though this deck was like super meta for like 6 months, like even like a year, you can almost say. A lot of people just don't know Chick as a cost. Like, people don't know that Chick like stops effects during the battle phase when it's banished. Like it's just like super solid for like a throw off against like a lot of different decks. Like a lot of different decks just don't play an out to stuff like Leo Dancer as well, so that can also throw people off. It's just like really solid. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace.